Good morning, Virgo. They looked past it, not through the effortful, I am consciously choosing not to let this matter process of someone overriding a genuine hesitation, simply past it. In the specific, unremarkable, this did not require a decision quality of someone who encountered you and found the encounter so immediately, so completely absorbing that the age gap, which the world has perhaps been treating as the primary fact of this situation, was simply not the primary fact of their experience of it, was not the first thing, was not the thing that organized how they received you, was information that arrived after the recognition, after the specific pre rational this person quality of encountering someone who is what you have been looking for. The recognition came first. Everything else, including the number of years between you, came after. And what arrives after recognition has already occurred does not have the power to undo it. Take what is yours today. What resonates, let it reach the part of you that may have been wondering whether the age gap is an obstacle that this person is merely tolerating rather than something they have genuinely moved past. What does not, release it gently. But for those of you who have been navigating the specific complexity of a connection where the years between you have been a subject in your own mind, in the opinions of others, in the background hum of a situation that the world tends to have strong views about, this reading holds something that I think you deserve to hear clearly. Let me speak about what the age gap looks like from their side, because this is the perspective that matters most for how you carry this. And it is the perspective that has perhaps been least accessible to you directly. What they see when they look at you and the years between you is not an obstacle they are choosing to overlook, is not a complication they have decided to manage around, is not the thing they are bravely setting aside in service of the feeling. Soft sigh. It is simply not the thing, not the organizing fact of their experience of you. The organizing fact of their experience of you is you, the specific, particular, entirely your own quality of who you are that produced the recognition, that reached something in them that has not been reached by anyone else in the same way. That answered with a specificity that the years between you did nothing to diminish the specific and long held question of what they have actually been looking for in a partner. And the answer, it turns out, is you, not a type, not a demographic, not the person who fits the conventional template of what makes sense given the circumstances and the age and the expectations of the people around them. You, the actual specific this person and not another you that arrived in their life and produced the recognition before any of the calculation could intervene. Hear them, because this voice has been pressing forward and needs to reach you in the form closest to how it actually lives in the person carrying it. I have been thinking about what I was actually looking for. Not what I thought I was looking for, not the surface level, this is what makes sense version of a partner that a person assembles from the expectations of their environment and the conventional wisdom of people who have not been inside their own specific experience of what they need, what I was actually looking for in the honest hours when the performance of having reasonable, age appropriate, circumstance appropriate preferences was not required, when I could simply know what I wanted without justifying it. And what I wanted, have always wanted, in the specific and private quality of genuine wanting, has a shape, a particular configuration of qualities and presence, and the specific way of moving through the world that I had stopped expecting to find in a single person. That I had begun to suspect was something I had constructed from imagination rather than something that existed in a real person I could actually encounter. The depth without the pretension, the warmth without the neediness, the specific quality of aliveness, of being genuinely, fully, nothing performed, present in a conversation, in a room, in the ordinary moments that most people move through without fully inhabiting. That quality, that specific and uncommon quality, you have it. In the specific, located, this is what I was describing way that makes recognition feel less like meeting someone new and more like finally encountering the thing you have been trying to describe. And the years between us, which I understand the world has opinions about, which I am aware does not fit the conventional template, which requires more conversation than a simpler situation would, those years do not change what I found when I found you. Do not alter the specific quality of what you are or what encountering you produced in me. Do not make the recognition less real or the finding less significant. I do not mind the gap. I want to say that plainly because I think you have perhaps been wondering in the specific, quietly uncertain way of someone who cares enough to worry about whether what they are to another person is fully accepted, whether the gap is something I am managing rather than something that simply does not organize how I experience you. It is the second one. It does not organize my experience of you. You organize my experience of you. The specific, irreplaceable, everything I was looking for quality of who you actually are. Oh, feel the quality of that. Because that is not the language of someone who has decided to be broad minded about a situation that challenges their preferences. That is the language of someone who encountered the answer to a long held question and found that the answer arrived in a form they had not specified, but that the form does not change the answer. That the years between you are simply the form, and what you are, the specific, particular, entirely your own quality of your presence in their life, is the answer. Now, I want to speak to you directly about what you deserve to carry as you navigate this. Because the age gap, however irrelevant it is to this person's experience of you, is not always irrelevant to the world around you. And navigating the gap between how this person receives you and how certain others receive the situation you are in is its own specific experience that deserves honest acknowledgement. soft sigh. The world has opinions, some of them well intentioned, some of them generated by convention rather than by any genuine knowledge of what exists between you specifically. And the specific challenge of a connection where the years between two people are visible, where the gap is something that others can see and form views about before they have any access to what the connection actually contains, is that the views can arrive with a confidence and a volume that exceeds their actual basis. You do not have to organize yourself around those views. That is the specific and important thing Spirit is pressing forward for you today. Not an instruction to dismiss them without consideration. Some of them may carry genuine care and deserve the respect of being heard, but an instruction not to let the volume of external opinion overwrite the specific and accurate knowledge you have of what this connection actually is and what this person actually feels. Because the knowledge you have from the inside, from the specific quality of being in this person's presence and receiving what they bring, is more accurate than any assessment formed from the outside looking at the surface of the years between you. Trust what you know from the inside with the grounded, self possessed quality of someone who has enough information to make their own honest assessment and who has made it, who can hold the external views without being destabilized by them because the internal knowing is solid enough to remain solid under pressure. Because the internal knowing is solid. Spirit is confirming that today without qualification. What exists between you, the recognition, the this is what I was looking for quality of how this person has encountered you, the specific and genuine acceptance of the gap as simply not the organizing fact of their experience is real, is not the product of infatuation that will eventually correct itself when the novelty wears off, is not someone managing a preference they have not yet fully examined, is the genuine, assessed, I know what I found quality of someone who has looked at the full picture, including the years, and arrived at a conclusion that the years did nothing to change. Uh, you are everything they have been looking for, not in the inflated, everyone is everything to someone sense. In the specific, this particular configuration of qualities that I have been carrying, a picture of sense of someone who has been looking in the honest hours in the private assessment of what they actually need for something that you are the specific and accurate answer to, who found it in you with the specific quality of recognition that does not require the years between you to be a different number in order to be real. The gap does not diminish the finding, has not diminished what you are to them, will not diminish it as time continues, because what is real between you is not contingent on the number of years being a particular size. It is contingent on who you are. And who you are is not subject to change by the arithmetic. Receive this person in the full, open, I am allowing what is real to be what it is way of someone who has stopped organizing their reception of a genuine connection around the question of whether the connection fits the conventional template, it does not fit the template. It fits you. And what fits you specifically, accurately, in the this was built for the actual version of who you are sense is not required to also fit the template to be worth receiving fully. The gap is not the story. You are the story, the specific, irreplaceable everything they were looking for you, who arrived in their life and produced the recognition and answered the question that all the previous searching was asking. And the recognition does not mind the gap, has never minded the gap, because recognition operates at a level where the arithmetic is simply not the primary information. Soft sigh. What you are to this person is real. What they feel past the gap around the template in the honest private assessment of someone who has looked at the full picture and arrived at their conclusion is real. And what is real between two adults who have found each other with the specific quality of recognition that this connection carries deserves to be inhabited fully. Without the apologizing, without the managing of it into something smaller to fit what the world expected, as exactly what it is, which is the specific and genuine finding of everything they were looking for in you, regardless of the gap, because of who you are. If this reading found you today, if something here named the specific dynamic of this connection and gave you the grounded confidence to receive what is real without organizing it around the gap, stay close, subscribe, and come back, because the story of what becomes possible when two people who have found each other stop apologizing for how they found each other, that is a story worth witnessing all the way through. And the next reading will be there for every honest step of what the recognition builds into.